The Weed of the Week is brought to you by Mandaco.
For lower costs and higher production, Mandaco leads with versatility unmatched. Twister is the vertical tillage unit for no-till as well as conventional tillage. See your Mandaco dealer. Visit northcountrymarketing.biz or call 877-915-8790.
All right, Darren, we got one of the toughest weeds we've ever had on Ag PhD. It is Foxtail Barley. It's a perennial weed. How are we going to stop this
Well,
thing?
okay, you say toughest weeds we've ever had. It is tough if it's out in your wheat. If it's in some corn or soybean ground where I can plant a Roundup Ready crop and use high rates of Roundup, I'm not nearly as worried about it. But in wheat, yeah, it's a pretty difficult one to kill.
Well, a lot of people will confuse it too for quackgrass because it does have auricles. It is a perennial, so it looks kind of similar to quackgrass. About the only way you can tell the difference, just pull those roots up. It doesn't have nearly as extensive a root system as what quackgrass does, but it is still a perennial weed.
It is, and when you look at the seed head on it, it's kind of feathery and soft, and it looks kind of pretty out there. You see this little patch of feathers out in your grass. Well, you say, oh, that's not too bad a deal, but when it spreads out into your field, it sure can be. So let's talk about wheat. Now, there's a lot of different grass herbicides for wheat, but unfortunately, not very many of them work well on foxtail barley.
Well, I would go so far as to say none of them work 100%. What we strongly encourage you to do is get a good burn down. If you get a good burn down with Roundup before your wheat emerges, you've got a big head start on that foxtail barley, and it's a lot easier to control later on in the season. But I would also recommend that you put down some Prepare as a pre-emerge residual herbicide. Yeah, it's not going to control a lot of the foxtail barley, but it's really going to slow it down, and it is going to kill some of it, so it'll thin those populations out. So Roundup, Prepare, pre-emerge.
Well, in crop, the two best products I've found have been Gold Sky and PowerFlex. Now, PowerFlex, if you can use it in the fall and winter wheat, that's awesome. It's not going to be 100%, as Brian said, but it's going to be the best thing going. And Gold Sky in the spring has been one of the better ones that I've seen. Good suppression for sure. Maybe control if it's a new seedling kind of patch.
I don't know if I'd call it control. Also, I don't think Maverick is too bad. And then another one that is okay would be Everest in combination with Express. If you just go out with Everest, probably not going to do it. Put some Express with it. That'll help heat it up just a little bit, make it a little bit better. Is it going to be 100%? No way. 80%? Probably.
Well, again, foxtail barley is a perennial weed, so none of the grass killers in soybeans are going to take it out 100%. So you got to use Roundup in a Roundup Ready crop situation to do a good job. Same thing for corn. If you're using Accent or Steadfast in crop, not good enough. But if you have Roundup Ready corn, you can use Roundup and do a nice job.
The only thing in corn though, Darren, is you may not be able to use a high enough rate of Roundup in order to stop this thing completely. You probably burn it back significantly though, so it most likely won't become competitive after that point. Well, once again, our Weed of the Week is Foxtail Barley. Do what you can to control it on your farm. That's it for our Weed of the Week, but stay tuned. Iron Talk is coming up next.